So today we're going to show you how to swap out the wheel sets on this is an LGB hopper, but you can do this on USA trains as well. So why do we do this? Well, we want to add weight. We want to add that weight low on the car, and these wheel sets will be more durable and roll better on the track. So what will happen is, as you have a consist of cars, if you put the light cars by the engine and then the heavy cars at the end by the caboose, you will tend to derail the lighter cars. So what you may have to do is add weight to the lighter cars, and you want to add that weight down by the trucks and by the couplers so that you're pulling through the couplers. If you were to add weight up top, that would tend to try to make the cars fall over. But when you add weight at the bottom, it creates stability, and the heavier cars at the end of the train cannot pull the lighter cars off the track and derail them. So first I want to demonstrate something to you. Let's take this one out of the box and weigh it, and then let's weigh a couple of other cars, and you'll see some are quite heavy and some are quite light. Okay, so I've taken this one out of the box. I have my kitchen scale, and I want to compare with this one. This is a USA Trains box car, so let's just weigh these and see how they compare. Okay, so I've zeroed out my scale. Put this Rio Grande on here. This is the LGB car, and it weighs 1312 grams. Okay, so by comparison, let's put the USA Trains on here, and it's still zeroed out. This one weighs 1122 grams. Now this one, even though it's smaller, weighs almost the same because it has metal wheel sets, whereas the LGB has plastic wheel sets. So let's swap out these for metal wheel sets. We'll get a little more weight, and we'll get more durability and more weight down below. You want something nice and soft to work on. I've got the foam pads from the LGB box here. So we'll have those down, and I'll put my car upside down on those. That will keep it nice and safe as we work. So let's take a look at these trucks. So we have one screw right in the middle. We don't need to mess with that one. That is the one that attaches the whole truck. But we want to remove these side screws that will release the wheel set. Okay, here I have some wheel sets. We have some darkened black style wheel sets. And we have some chrome shiny metal polished. These are USA Trains parts, and I got them from Charles Rowe. So let's see how much they weigh. Here is the Charles Rowe website. We will go to Shop Online. We'll go down here and scroll down to USA Trains G-Scale. The category you want is Service Items. There are some couplers and trucks through here. You can see some plastic wheel sets here, but we want to go to the third page is metal wheel sets. There's the chrome. These are the black. They even have these larger ones for passenger cars, and chrome larger ones for passenger cars. So here's the polished set. So each set adds 165 grams. So if we do the entire car with the polished sets, that would be 331 grams, 332 grams. Let's try. I think that would look better to keep this blackened appearance. So let's see, the blackened ones, basically the same we're adding, and we're taking off a tiny bit of plastic with those, but we're basically adding 330 grams, so that's going to be about 30% heavier. That's going to be a much more stable car on the track. Okay, so here we go. So this is the screw that holds the whole truck if we want to replace the whole truck, but we are going to remove one or both of those. This, incidentally, is the screw that we would need to remove to change out the coupler. So let's change out just these wheel sets by loosening. So we take that screw out. So it seems like we have to take out both. That takes off this decorative piece. And now we can see what we're doing. It kind of has to lift straight up off of that little pillar there. But you can see the wheel sets are completely free. So let's take these and we'll weigh those. See what those weigh, but they're basically plastic with a little bit of metal axle on the end. They weigh a lot less than these metal ones, I'll tell you that. So now let's weigh those wheel sets. We just removed, these are the plastic wheel sets. I'm putting all 4 of them on. All 4 of them only weigh 52 grams. So we've removed 52 grams, added 330 grams, so we've added 280 grams about of weight to this car. And all that weight is down low, so that increases the stability. So here's our metal wheel sets. Let me open those up. And we'll put on some of these metal wheel sets. Much more hefty. You just have to sneak these in here and just align everything as we put it all back together. And you don't want to over tighten these. These are going directly into the plastic, so we don't want to over tighten these. So I've discovered a slight problem here. Now that these are all tightened down, these wheels don't freely roll because this is an LGB car and therefore LGB trucks. So if we look closely at these wheel sets, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to measure these for you. The metal truck on your right is slightly wider than the original LGB plastic truck. So let's do some measurements and I think I can make this more obvious. Okay, so I've got my calipers here and I'm going to measure the overall axle length. I don't think is the actual problem, but there's this little flange. So this is the plastic truck. It is just under 70 millimeters. This is the metal truck. It seems slightly larger at 71 millimeters. At 71 millimeters. Again, I don't think that's the issue, but I think this flange right here, again, let's start with the plastic. The flange here is, I think, the limitation. So it's 56.5, but on the new metal truck, it is, oh wow, this is going to be a lot different. Yeah, the new one is 59 millimeters. So I think we have to take off 3.5 millimeters, if I've done my math correctly, and I think we have to take that off of this. We have to smooth this down, and I do believe we have enough room for the axle, but I do believe this flange has to be about a millimeter shallower. After we sand these down, it's good to get in here with a sharp edge and really get all that goop out of there. Make sure that all that little edge is nice and clean again. And get all that stuff out of there. Okay, so there you can see unmodified and modified. I've taken off a fraction of a millimeter. Now let's test it and see how it goes. We should note when we put it back together, there are 2 different sides and they're actually different. You can see this one has a small hole, this one has a big hole. And if you look at the profiles, this one is flat and slides in sideways. It slides in from the side. This one has a rounded profile and it actually drops in from the top and snaps in from the top. So let's put this back together with the metal axles. And let's tighten it all down, because when it was loose, it seemed to free spin quite well, but as soon as it's all tight, I think we'll see if it will bind or not. And so far, all I have done is taken a fraction of a millimeter off of one side. So we may need to take a little more, and I'll take it off of the opposite side so that it'll at least center it back up. So far I've only taken, I think, less than a millimeter off of one side. This does spin better. It's better, but it still has some binding. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. Reduce a little material on the other side as well. Okay, so I've taken a little bit more off of this side. Let's put it back together. That does seem a little bit better. I do still think I need to take a little more off. So now let's get these back on here, give it a test. You do have to make sure there's no plastic debris inside those axle holes, because I think that will bind things up as well if you have some debris in there. Okay, so we've got these all back together, and you can see the wheels spin pretty nicely, pretty freely. Okay, so we have all our metal wheel sets in place. Let's go ahead and weigh this car. Now it's 1587 grams, 1586 grams. So we've added about 280 grams, I think, to this car. All the weight is down low, so that makes it a very stable car. Should be overall a lot less likely to derail for us. Okay, so I also have this one, which is a little coal hopper. This, I believe, is a Bachmann. So let's try to swap out these. I think I'll try the bright chrome wheel sets on this. Okay, so let's weigh this one. It weighs 474. So this is going to be really good. We're probably going to add like 80% weight to this, and all the weight will be down there by the wheels. Okay, so again, we have one bolt that holds the whole truck in place, and I think we have to remove one or both of those, and incidentally, that is the bolt to change out the coupler. And so there's the decorative piece. Looks like the exact same kind of truck as the LGB. And we can pull this one off sideways. Yeah, which releases our wheel sets. Right, now we've got these are our chrome polished USA Trains parts. And these are solid axles, by the way. They don't rotate. There's no, if you want a little bit less resistance, you can buy ones with ball bearings, and those are of course more expensive. So let's put our metal wheel sets in place. We'll have to see if this suffers from the same LGB pinching issue. And I think we found a good solution for that, though. Okay, and we'll tighten it all down. Well, I can tell you right now, it is getting squeezed. I can feel some resistance here. And we are pushing on those flanges. So I think we will do the same modification that we made on the LGB truck. So I sanded these down. You can see they're a lot flatter, but don't forget to clean out the edges and kind of deburr the edge of that hole. Okay, so we've sanded these down and deburred the holes. And now let's put it all back together. Yeah, those are rolling nicely. Rolling, yeah. And again, you can see the chrome wheels don't have the little flanges, whereas the plastic wheels we replaced have the little ribs on the inside. So another way to see what kind of wheels you've got. So those look pretty sharp. I think I like that. Let's do the other side. You do have to be careful when you're removing these not to slam up against these decorative pieces and cause damage. So do be very careful that don't overshoot. Take out the plastic wheel sets. This one comes off. So I'm going to do my sanding and I'll deburr the holes. Okay, I've made that modification and deburred those holes, so let's put it back together. And here's another set of wheel sets. Very nice. Roll very nice. Okay, I think that's pretty sharp. Nice chrome wheels on that. Okay, so we have our scale again. Let's zero it out. Yep. Okay, there you go. 748 grams. So we've almost doubled the weight of that car. And all that weight is down there at the bottom where it's right there by the couplers and helps keep the whole consist stable and keeps it from jumping the track. Okay, so that is how you change the wheel sets on the LGB or on a Bachmann G scale. I think that looks pretty sharp. I mean, with that chrome, that really pops. So I really like that. I've got a couple more of those I'll probably have to do. These parts are about $10 or $11 from USA Trains at Charles Rowe. So it's about $22 modification per car. We did have to shave off those and expand those bearings to let those wheel sets spin freely. So a slight modification on the LGB and the Bachmann cars, but this is with USA Trains axles. Perhaps if you got LGB metal axles or Bachmann metal axles, you wouldn't have to do that. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and we'll see you next time.